I actually spent an enormous amount of time yesterday marking exams in which there was a trapezium rule question, and all of these errors are coming up all the time. So I'm going to make sure that you don't make the errors that everyone makes. So first thing, what are we actually doing? We're trying to find an area under a curve. So say from there to there, and we're doing it by, well, we're doing an estimate, we're doing an approximation. We're going to split it up into some trapezia. So first of all, we split the bottom up into equal, and no, one count, x3, x4, into equally spaced ordinates. An ordinate is like a coordinate, but only one of them. So coordinate, x and y, ordinate, only x. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ordinates. And in this question, we want 7 ordinates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ordinates. Now, 4 ordinates has created 3 intervals. So 7 ordinates is going to create 6 intervals. And that's a really important distinction between the two. 1, 2, 3, 4 ordinates equals 3 intervals. So make sure you've read that question carefully and not muddled up ordinates and intervals. So we're going to make a trapezium, another trapezium, another trapezium, trapezia, 3 trapezia. And they are all going to be h across, but they've all got different heights and different areas. So in a concave section, concave is where all of the chords are underneath the curve. So this is a concave section of the curve. This is a convex section of the curve. So it's fairly obvious that in a concave section of the curve, when we find the area of this trapezium, it's going to be below the curve. It's going to be a little bit too small. In a concave section, the trapezium will give an underestimate, and then the opposite is the opposite. In a convex section, the trapezia would go over the curve and we'd get a little bit too much. If the curve is a bit convex and a bit concave and sort of wobbling about, then those will cancel each other out and we'll get a pretty good estimate of the area, but we'll get a better estimate if we take more and more intervals, so more and more ordinates. The greater the number of intervals, the smaller the error. So here's the formula. You put all your ordinates across here, and then you calculate the y value of each of these ordinates, so you end up with a list of coordinates. And then the formula is that you need half of h being the distance between the x's, and then this one, which is the first y, and then 2 of all of these ones, and then just him on the end, that one there. So first y, 2 of all of those, last y, all added up, times half of h. Now, here's my first very common error. H is the distance between the x's, distance between the ordinates. So look at your table of results. Here's h from there to there. That's h. From there to there, that's h. H is the distance between the ordinates. Don't use b minus a over n, because people get n wrong because they're mixing up ordinates and intervals, and it just very, very rarely does somebody calculate h using b minus a over n and not make a mistake. Just look at your table. That is h, the distance from one to the next ordinate. That is h. Right, next very common mistake is mixing up ordinates and intervals, which is kind of the same thing as this. The next thing is brackets. I'm doing these all in red because I'm very angry because I spent the whole of yesterday marking people down because they were doing these things. Brackets. The formula is h over 2, and then all of this gets multiplied by h over 2, all of it. Not what happens a lot, which is h over 2, and then the first y, and then the last y. People do it in a different order. And then 2 of the other y's. So like that one, and then them. And then look what's happened. These have not been multiplied by the h over 2. No. So that's why I prefer it where you've got a y there and a y there, and then the brackets appear in the middle, because you're less likely to forget that bracket on the end and realise that the h over 2 gets times by all of it. Last thing is missing a y value, particularly if, like here, we've got quite a lot, or miscopying a y value. So in the table it says something, and then in your calculator you type something else, and then what happens there is, actually I'm going to call this its own one, calculator fail. So this does happen quite a lot. and I've got this fresh in my mind from all the marking yesterday, is that people will write down the perfect thing and all they've got to do now is type it in the calculator, and for some reason it goes wrong. So just, this is easy, but it's also kind of weirdly difficult to get all the marks on it, so go careful. Right, let's fill in our table here. We're splitting up minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. They're the first and the last ordinates, that's that and that. And if you think about a cosine graph, we're basically going from here to here. And we're using 7 ordinates. So if we've got 7 ordinates, we'll have 6 intervals. So we'll have 3 on this side and 3 on this side. It's going to look like that. So how big will each interval be? Well, that's pi by 2. So if we split it up into 3, this is going to be, so we've got one there, then the next one, then the next one. Then it will be 0. And then it's going to be pi by 2 divided by 3, which is pi by 6, yeah. And then pi by 3, and then it's going to be symmetric. This picture will really help. As always, pictures always help. So this is what we are basically finding the area of. Now you can see already that what we're going to get is going to be an underestimate, and that is because the curve is concave. Wish I put that. Should I put this in? So I don't even need to do it. I already know that. So it's concave from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And then I'm just going to explain to the examiner what I mean, just so they know I'm not bluffing. That means that the trapezia will lie under the curve. Okay, that's that bit done. Right, let's work out all of these. So you just get your calculator and do cos x to get the heights all the way across. What is the height? What is the height? What is the height? Now, usually we would do this to sort of 4 decimal places-ish, but the reason I'm doing exact is because I'm trying to come up with an exact, it's silly, but an exact estimate, basically. I want my estimate to be in terms of root 3 and pi, not decimal places, so I'm not using decimal places here, I'm not using approximations. So the area underneath cos x from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is approximately equal to 1/2 of h. H is pi by 6, h is the distance across here, that's what h is. Big square bracket, the first y, I'm writing it in anyway to show my method, and then 2 of all these ones, and then that one. Okay, it's a show that, so I'm going to go nice and slowly. You go too fast on show that, you're not going to get any marks. Because it could just look like you've just written it down. Okay, let's pull a 2 out of here. And we're done. Now, how could I check this? Well, I mean, it's a show that. Okay, it's fine, it's a show that. But say it wasn't a show that and I'd come up with this. Find the exact area on your calculator. Because your calculator will do integrals. So you can type this in, even if it's something you don't know how to integrate. I mean, you can integrate cos, but anyway, you could type this in, it will tell you the proper area underneath, and then you can compare it with your estimate. You know your estimate should be just a little bit touch underneath, so you can just check whether or not that's more or less right. Right, percentage error. So the percentage error is the big one minus the small one, divided by the real one. So which one's going to be bigger, the actual area under the curve or the estimate? Well, we know that the exact real one, in this case, is going to be bigger. It doesn't matter if you do it the other way around, you'll just get a negative, and we don't want negative as a percentage error. So this is, in this case, the exact one is going to be bigger, so I'm going to do that first. So now, in order to do this, I do actually need to know what actually really is that area. So I'm going to integrate. Put the top limit in, put the bottom limit in. Sine of pi by 2 is 1, sine of minus pi by 2 is minus 1, so this is 2. So the true area is 2. So the percentage error will be 2 minus this thing, all over 2, and then times 100. And that's 3 significant figures is 2.30.